director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, for every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health, heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course, where we encourage you to call in to join in at all times. In fact, today we're going to do just that. We're opening them up today. It is an open phone show today. Yes, I got some things on my plate I want to bring to you. You have had a number of days now where we've had guests, and you've got a number of things on your plate that you may want to bring to me. Anyway, to do so, as always, that number will be 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. We open them up. Anything on your mind is okay with me. Question or comment, it doesn't matter. It is your show today if you choose to take it. Now, speaking of shows, up and coming shows, taking a look at our calendar of events. Going to say that, well, you know Mr. Ed, but you all know Dr. Ed. Dr. Ed Kondrat, a board-certified ophthalmologist and, well, he claims the only homeopathic ophthalmologist out there, and that probably holds true. Anyway, he comes to Pittsburgh. He's a native-born boy from Pittsburgh who has since left for greener pastures at Phoenix, Arizona way, but now has decided to move around the country. He just doesn't come to Pittsburgh. He moves in a number of other cities, a number of other venues, and brings that interesting approach to the treatment of eye diseases above and beyond the conventional approaches. And so there's a smattering of individuals in all cities that find out about his coming to them, to the area. And of course, we've been a big fan of Dr. Ed Kondrat for some time. We've supported him. I've supported him since he was here in Pittsburgh. And now coming back in March, so we're going to be spending a morning with him on the 22nd so he can explain to you just what his seminars are for. I'll say that if you have eye conditions, particular glaucoma, macular degeneration, especially those two, and you are being managed conventionally by ophthalmology and are not pleased with your results, don't fret to think that you're being mismanaged. You're being managed correctly. It's just the efforts of the ophthalmological world aren't able to really help you, and you need to make a change. If you're pleased with your current management, by all means, you probably want to stick with it, or maybe just explore greener pastures elsewhere. But if you are not getting results, you need to take a look elsewhere. And Dr. Kondrat's approaches, which are definitely unconventional, mean not to be found in the usual halls of conventional medicine, are a place I would recommend that you consider. Anyway, it comes to town in March. Going to be here for a free seminar on March 21st. We'll find out that hotel. I gotta find out the hotel so I can always start mentioning it. That's a Sunday. He gives a free seminar. He packed the place last time he was here. And then, of course, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he has a treatment seminar for those individuals who have the interest of being treated in a different way. And then he'll leave town and come back, and he'll be checking on. Anyway, that's Dr. Ed. Dr. Ed Kondrat going to be here with us on the 22nd. As we do move the calendar into the next month, and we are rapidly approaching it, are we not? Raymond France is going to be here. I've been on some other shows in the Pittsburgh area. I really enjoy Raymond. You'll remember him. He wrote the book, and we had him on the show many times explaining that book called Never Be Sick Again. And it was really his epiphany and his own personal life on how really entering a hospital, uh, I don't know, not doing well, but literally almost being brought out of that hospital horizontal, if you know what I mean, decided to take a look at maybe how to take and treat disease in another way, other than this assault that was placed on him. It almost killed him. Anyway, Raymond Francis has written a new book now, book entitled Cancer. Well, you know what? I don't know the exact title. The subject is cancer, and anytime Raymond is writing a book, I'm interested, and you will be too. He's going to be here on the 3rd of March. I want to mention that Jean Marion's group is going to be out there at the what's it called? Franciscan Spirit and Life Center. It's a big long name for what I call the Franciscan Convent out there in Castle Shannon. It's going to be there on March 1st, and I got to get a couple blurbs. If you're interested in attending, 412-881-0793. She's going to have her first in a series of continued follow-up, and maybe they're monthly, I don't know. We'll find out from Jean more about it. But hers is going to be on our first gathering. It's titled Food Matters. And Jean's just an expert in the alternative realm and tapes our shows. Whenever I miss a show and I can't find it, and I got a library of shows I'm going through and can't seem to find, I just call Jean up, say, send me a copy. Anyway, you want to find out more about it, her series beginning on March 1st. 412-881-0793. That'll do that for you. And I already mentioned about Dr. Ed coming in on the 21st. So that's pretty much the way the calendar has shaped up. Talking about some other things, Fruit of the Spirit, keep mentioning it to you because, well, it's so reasonably priced now at $29 when it was $39 when we launched the program here. And that there's the just wonderful tasting and great concept. 14 biblical fruit purees in 1 ounce, 5 servings, and fruits and vegetables come to you in a way the taste is out of this world. Your kids will love it. If you have trouble giving them supplements, as I'm sure you might, you won't have any trouble here. They really will enjoy it. And they slashed the price right at the end of the year, and on January 1, offered it at $29 where it was $39. The number to get Fruit of the Spirit, the 14 biblical fruit purees, and also included in that concoction is alkaline minerals from the Dead Sea, and third component, resveratrol. Just think just a moment about that. Number 800-442-3793, 800-442-3793. Now, I've got to mention Friday's show. And as usual, he blew the roof off the place. Of course, I'm talking about Cass Ingram. Cass was here as he comes, 2 to 3 times a year. We always get Cass here. And every time he comes, he's such a dynamic speaker. Just based on his speaking alone, he generates interest. But he really blew the lid off the place on Friday. Our phone lines were barraged with people dying to get a hold of the products. I think he brought to you a message, the take-home message, if I could reiterate it and repeat it, is, his topic was there was a fungus among us, and that the misdiagnosis conducted by the conventional medical community, calling things bacterial infections and using antibiotics, especially upper respiratory. We're in the upper respiratory season, are we not? And there's people that just linger with symptoms, especially related to respiratory symptoms and secretions and so forth, that last the entire doggone winter. And he brought to us the message that, hey, if there's a nasal component, if there's a sinus component, if there's continual watering of the nose and other mucous membranes, that's the hallmark sign that this is not bacterial. And you shouldn't be looking for the next antibiotic to be given to you by your doctor because it's just all the previous ones hadn't worked, and these aren't going to work either. That more than likely this is a fungal infection, and it's going to have to be treated with antifungal. Now, got to tell you, as a medical doctor, if there's one group of Mets that are just plagued with pretty significant risk factors, it is the pharmaceutical grade of antifungals. I mean, they are some very powerful drugs. They, when they're needed, thank God they are available. And in some situations where there are life-threatening fungal infections going on, but as a general rule, I know I would want to stay clear of any of those pharmaceutical-grade antifungals because they do carry with them such uh, glaring risk factors for especially the liver and the kidneys. Now, this is where I think Cass really blew the lid off the place because he keeps talking about he is the king of oregano, is he not? And he started talking about how you can use these preparations of oregano, P73, coming out of this company called North American Herb and Spice. And that's why our phone rang off the hook, because people said, I want to get my hands on this stuff. Now, we couldn't get a phone call in quick enough to a gentleman by the name of David Allen up there. It's in Illinois at the company that North American Spice is, where they're located. And so the oregano, this has been a standard issued product North American has put out for years. But the other two products, nobody has because they're brand new. The second product was a chaga mushroom extract that you use in conjunction with the oregano. And then there was a third product called Nail It, which is oregano based, that was also used for treatment of toenail infections, fungal toenail infections. Anyway, our stuff is on its way. Got to tell you, I had to talk to David Allen personally, saying, I know about the oregano. Can't find this chaga stuff, and I can't find, especially this Nail It, anywhere in your literature, anywhere on your website. It's just not there. He says, hey, these are brand new products, and they just aren't. We don't even have them up on the website. So they're inbound to our office. Call if you want to be put on the waiting list when they arrive. They may be here today. I don't know. But the three products that I think that he did a great job on, he being Casting, and just does a great job of bringing information that's usable. But I think he backed it up so clearly that if you're suffering with what very well might be fungal, if you're not getting relief, you're having a season-long upper respiratory thing going on, and you're referring to it as a cold, and you've had to refer to it as a virus because you're now in your third round of antibiotics and you just haven't improved at all, got to consider this fungal approach. And Cass is, he's alternatively minded, but he is a medical doctor, and I really enjoy having a medical doctor on who has learned and is now teaching us that there are other ways of treating these problems I would have never thought, but then being induced fungally and to need to be treated antifungally, and so there you have it with respect to Cass Ingram. And we'll bring him back soon, but the stuff, according to David Allen at the company, is on its way here. And really, if there are other retailers that have it, they may not have this other two products. Oregano, yeah, that's one that's been out for quite some time, but other stuff, no. Look, we're opening up to you today, and it's open phones, 412-825-6262. Anything on your mind is okie dokie with me. I'm going to take a short break, allowing those just to step away from the radio moment. Grab a phone and, hey, weigh in on how you feel about this. We got more snow coming today, and I hope your Valentine's Day went well for all of you out there. Yes, we're in February 15. We are alive and live today. Got to keep mentioning that. We've missed so many shows from power losses and being snowed in, and just, I don't know, things weren't clicking very well, but they're clicking now, folks. We're live with you. Take the time to give us a call, 412-825-6262. Be back in a moment.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Honey, just got the word. The company's new health plan has a $5,000 deductible. We have to make sure nobody gets sick this year. Remember what those doctor's visits cost for last year's colds and flu? Oh, sorry. I gotta go. Love you.
We can do this. We can cut the fast food lunches, soda, that's a lot of sugar. We could all take that evening walk. And hey, I heard a program about fruit of the spirit. What did they say? 1 ounce, the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits with herbs and minerals. We could add some to our breakfast protein shakes. Fruit of the Spirit is a unique whole fruit puree. Fruit of the Spirit contains fresh fruits native to the Holy Land and alkalizing minerals from the Dead Sea. With no added sugars, Fruit of the Spirit is a unique product from 5 years of work from science-based nutritional experts. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, convenient, affordable, and delicious. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you on this Monday version of the show, post-Valentine's Day. Here we are, smack dab on President's Day. Things would normally be lit up pretty good around the house, would they not? Except they sent all the kids back. They had so much school off last week. My kids were not too happy about having to go back on President's Day. But they are gone, and many of your children are gone, too. That's why maybe you're sitting down here in that breakfast nook and listening to me today when ordinarily you can't. But as you listen to me, if you got anything on your mind you want to bring to us, meaning myself and the listeners, don't forget, we have opened them up to you. The open phone light is on, 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. I want to give what I guess I'm going to refer to as the Ciara report. I mean, I got more and more patients that come in, and I will tell you, if you have a consult with me, if you intended to come in to see me, if you're either a brand new patient or any previous patient, if you're going to be seeing me in the up and coming future, don't forget, make a promise to you that if you have any issues in the 3 areas that the Ciara company's products are supposed to have some value, which would be a pain problem anywhere, difficulty in getting to sleep, and lack of energy. Any one of these 3, I'm going to place a chip on you. I'm not going to charge you for it. It's going to be absolutely free, so you can find out if you benefit from these outstanding, and that's what I'm bringing to you with the Ciara report. I've had now an additional week of seeing patients, a lot of pain patients, because one of the adjuncts to my practice is treating chronic pain. Been doing it for years, and although we do quite well on the day we're treating patients, in the interim between now and the next time we see them, well, they have their pain levels slowly increase, sometimes rapidly increase, and we needed to have an option for them so as to allow them to have better control of their pain. And so I can report because I have used the chips more for pain problems than I have for sleep issues, although I have had a number of patients for sleep as well as energy. But the pain problems, I'm going to tell you, I just keep getting amazed. people with chronic pain for many, many years, taking a lot of medications to try to get relief, have, I'm going to use the word instantaneous. I say within 2 to 3 minutes of placing the chip, I've gotten responses. And I'm going to knock on wood, although I do expect it. As it stands right now, I haven't had any that haven't improved. And so that's the amazing things to me. Before they leave the office, they are responding. They are responding well and substantially well, so much so that I can't wait to the next visit to see how well it lasted beyond having left my office. So that's the CR report. I'm going to keep giving it to you now. Those of you who can't just make it on in here, don't want to make it on in here, still saying, you know what, this is interesting, this stuff about transparent holographic chips. Now that sounds bizarre, but it follows an acupuncture principle. You can't deny that a form of medicine lasting 4,000 years plus. And here we are with conventional medicine, about 150 years, okay? Where are you going to put your money? Where's the bet? Where should it be? Who has a system of treating that has shown that it lasts the test of time? Is it conventional Western medicine, 150 years old, or is it ancient Chinese medicine, 4,000 to 5,000 years old, using the meridians, the 12 meridians, and balancing this yin-yang concept of energy? Anyway, high precision is required by acupuncturists, and it's a endeavor of medicine I don't think really understood by the conventional doctors at all. But at this point, they've thrown in the towel and they've surrendered and they've said, you know what, you got to try acupuncture. I think that there are very few doctors who would not at least suggest to their patients that they're having trouble with, hey, try acupuncture. And normally when they do obtain benefit because of this art that takes many, many years to develop, but is unforgiving art, because the placement of those needles is so precise that you only have the ability to be off a millimeter or two, which is pretty small, in order to be able to get the effect that you're looking for. So it requires years and years of experience to be able to get those kinds of results. And therefore, very few ever attain the level of expertise required. Only very few obtain super levels of expertise and experience to allow, what in my mind as an anesthesiologist, which is what I am, to be able to do surgery under the use of acupuncture and not use the agents that I use when I have to put people to sleep to have a surgery. That to me is just a bit. That was the proof of the pudding for me, to see that they could use acupuncture for surgery. Anyway, put it on the background. You're not an acupuncturist. You don't need to be trained to that level in order to get results, because these chips have an area of forgiveness of 4 square inches. So if you're anywhere near the site that we're describing that you place these chips, you should be successful in using them. And it's because they're impregnated with so much information, charged with so much energy, that they can have that area of forgiveness. And so I'm doing pretty well. I say, where's it hurt? They point to it, and I put it right on the place where it does hurt. And so the CR report for this week is still no one yet where we didn't get a response in the office, okay? In the office when we applied the chip. Got a couple people that I said, wait till the pain wears off, because they only came in with an isolated segment. I remember a gentleman here last week who had knee pain. And so he always leaves my office feeling pretty good, but it seemed a little futile to say, I'm going to put this chip on top of what we already have done. So I'm anxious to see him this week. I'll include him on my report when we find out. I said, whenever this pain happens to increase after you leave me, so tomorrow, the day after, put this chip right here. Put an X. I used a magic marker. Put an X right here. Put it right here and I'm waiting to see how things work, and I'll report to you. That's the CR report. Now, if you want to get in on this, you can do so without coming in to see me. If you are coming in to see me, I promise you we'll talk about it. We'll find out which one of the areas are applicable to you, whether it's a pain problem, whether it is a sleep issue or an energy issue. I'll place the chip on you, and you can tell me how you respond. If you want to handle this on your own, go to the website. Now, I'm getting phone calls from folks that say that this website doesn't exist. I go, oh, let me check, and every time I've checked, it hasn't changed. So it's how you're entering it. It's www.drcourtney. That would be spelled D-R-C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y. D-R, not D-O-C-T. D-R-C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y. Ciara. That's C-I-E-A-U-R-A. That's actually two words, but it's all melded together when you use it in an address form. www.drcourtney.ciara, that's C-I-E-A-U-R-A.com. And then it will bring up the website, my website, that the company has issued to me, and then you can plot on through there, and if you want to order them, they are there and available. So either come on in and see me, and we'll just put a chip on you, no matter where it is that it's required, or if you want to do it on your own and not miss out on this, you can get those chips at that website. And wish you all the luck. And we'll call up, by the way. Let me know how it turns out, good or bad. We can take all comers here, no matter what. All right, we'll take another short break. Remember, we open the phones up to you today, 412-825-6262, 412-825-6262. When we return, hey, cardiology's coming back. Dr. Caminos will be in the office this week and talk a little bit about what's going on here with that. Be back in a moment.
Have you been to the doctor lately? Was fatigue top of your complaint list? Even if your doctor asked you what you eat, the recommended 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a dream in your busy schedule. What if you learned of a product 5 years in the formulation that delivers 5 servings of fruits and minerals in just 1 ounce? That's right, it's Fruit of the Spirit. The blessings of Fruit of the Spirit are now formulated into a delicious whole fruit puree product rich in antioxidants and minerals. Your health is more than just a test result. It's a balance of physical, spiritual, and emotional factors. You work regularly to strengthen your faith? Let Fruit of the Spirit help cover your nutritional needs in a convenient and cost-effective ounce a day. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, 5 servings of fruits and minerals with no added sugars. That's 1-800-442-3793 for your good health. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. You become confused about how best to manage your health. It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to AM Impact on Your Health here on KHB 620. This Monday, President's Day version of the show. We are alive and live here with you today. Opening up on the phones for allowing you to come on in and set the agenda. 412-825-6262 will allow you to do so. That's 412-825-6262. Got a couple of callers who took the time to give a knock at the door, and let's bring them on in the store right now. Say hello, good morning, and welcome to you. Go right ahead. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead. You're with Dr. Courtney.
I, for some particular reason, I can't hear you.
Ah.
But, I want to thank you for your show with Dr. Cass Ingram.
Hey, it was a good one.
Interesting.
He was really good, wasn't he?
And he brought up some very interesting points. I just wanted to point out that if the listeners were all interested in maybe gaining some more information about mushrooms, they could go to New Chapter. They have a product that has the king of the mushrooms, which is called the Chagra.
Yes, that's what.
And so they might be able to go to that website. I think it's just newchapter.com. In fact, I think the president of that company is Paul Schulich, who wrote the book on ginger and turmeric. And he would be a good guy to be a guest on your show sometime.
Always love those recommendations. Paul Schulich's his name. I don't know the gentleman.
Well,
Okay.
he wrote a sort of it's a book on. He exploited the virtues of the ginger, and I think he in the same book he related it also to turmeric, and the mushrooms are extremely interesting. There's more products being developed, and I would say also that for the pulmonary diseases that you mentioned earlier, you might also look into the reishi, which is a Ganoderma lucidium mushroom, and some of these mushrooms you can get down in the strip district in the Chinese stores, very inexpensively.
Hear ya. Now, do you think the antifungal concept? I know your voice, and I know you're quite an avid listener, and actually listen to many shows and contribute a lot. I thought Cass Ingram's real contribution was to say these respiratory symptoms that just don't ever seem to go away. They're with you all winter, and you got to quit going to the doctors looking for your next antibiotic, because it's a fungus, folks. And mushrooms, of course, I think are well known to have antifungal properties. At least I think that's true. What do you think?
Yeah, there's I might also point out that cordyceps is another very good mushroom to add to this mix. Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm at the disadvantage. I can just barely hear you. And so what I'm going to do is I think I'll hang up for right now.
All right.
I would check into New Chapter. I will also tell you that there's some very interesting mushroom growers down in West Virginia. They're doing some very exciting things with mushrooms, and they treat them so well that when they dry them, they keep them enzymatically intact. And I'm just starting a relationship with one of them down there who makes some very exciting products. But New Chapter, I think, will bring a lot of people up to date. And, of course, I'd love to have Cass Ingram back on again.
We'll get him back. And, by the way, you deal with the West Virginia. Do you ever hear something called ramps?
Yes. Now, ramps are like sort of like a wild onion.
Man, they are unbelievable. They grow wild on the mountainside, and they stink to high heaven. They stink to high heaven, but I have a number of patients from West Virginia that would never miss the ramp harvest, and they bring me in a bag of the stuff every year. I will say I have it's an experience when I do, because the office just smells for about a week.
Not long ago I came back. Well, the reason why I made a lot of contacts down in West Virginia, I went to a pawpaw festival down there. Now, the pawpaw is an extremely interesting indigenous fruit of West Virginia, and it's supposed to have anti-cancer properties and so on and so forth. But they have so much fun with this fruit down there. It's hard to imagine, first of all, an obscure tree. It's a bush or it's a wild tree that grows down there, the pawpaw. It has this fruit, and you go on these forays out into the forest and pick your own, and it's quite an interesting ordeal. And then you come back to the festival, and you can swap them, trade them, and you can do all kinds of things. They're like money down there. And then you go around. They bring in gourmet chefs who create all kinds of delicacies or entrees using the pawpaw, and from soup to nuts almost. They mix them with everything. But it's always interesting to find out some of the things that grow in your area that are not very well known, like some of the wild mushrooms.
Oh man, wild! I think they call a place wild and wonderful, and with the kind of conversations we're having right now, one state away, pretty easy to enjoy some of that wild and wonderful. We gotta get down there more often. Or we gotta develop the same kind of relationship that you must have. Pawpaw. Now I gotta look that one up. I used to live in West Virginia. I never heard of pawpaw. I gotta find out.
It's a green shape. I'll tell you, it's kind of related to the papaya or the guava, or it's like a tropical fruit, but it grows in northern latitudes, and it has an orangish flesh like a mango. If I had to say the closest thing it was related to would be the mango, although it doesn't have the typical shape of a mango. It's more green and elongated, and you can go through a grove of them and not see any fruit at all, and then you'll go and find a tree here and there that's loaded with them. It's a very bizarre kind of thing, and people that know where they're growing, know where the pawpaw groves are, sort of hoard to keep it secret, like ginseng.
Yeah, because it sounds like you said they use them like money down there. Evidently, when you find one, you claim it as yours and you keep quiet.
Basically, yeah. It's a very interesting kind of thing. But one comment I wanted to make on your transparent holographic chips.
Go.
It sounds to me like this is more palliative rather than corrective.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely, and I'm glad you make the point, because it needs to be made. These chips fix nothing. They give symptom relief only. If you've got a pain problem, if you're having difficulty sleeping, and the best you've been able to do is some pharmaceutical preparation, I'll compare it to taking a narcotic without taking a narcotic. I think it's very justifiable to do it for that purpose, but it will not fix the cause. That's why you got to see your doctor. Make sure you're not dealing with something organic where pain is being, if I'm using pain as the example now, pain is not being an indicator of something terribly wrong going on. But once that's done, and you're dealing with now what might be a chronic situation, then how symptomatically you can take care of it, it becomes unimportant, and whatever gives you the most relief with the least number of side effects, I think is something that you do. But thanks for mentioning it. Palliative, yes.
It's a very interesting approach, but yeah, I do. You still have to work on correcting the underlying cause.
Absolutely. And some chronic pain problems, try as anyone might, never seems to get resolved. So we're dealing with lifetime issues here, and people with sleep issues, same. And so find out, hey, get to the doctors, find out if there's a root cause of this as an organic problem, then you've got to get straightened out. And if not, and we're dealing with it, I'll let you get away with the word palliative. I think it's fine. Symptom relief only, but hey, if you've got the problem, then you get the symptom dealt with, you're a happy camper for a while.
Yes, you are. Okay. Well, thank you for your show, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much for your contribution today. Very nice discussion. Always enjoy hearing from that gentleman, no matter what show he turns on. Okay. Very good. Hey, here you see how it's going, 412-825-6262. I believe there was another knock at the door. I don't know if they're still there. Are you still out there? Hello? Hello? Anybody out there probably gave up. Hey, sorry about that. 412-825-6262. Give us a knock on the door if you got a mind to out there. Talk about anything. You want to talk about casting room, go right ahead. The holographic chip. Anything that maybe we hadn't discussed today, that's fine too. 412-825-6262. Now, mentioned before we took our little break there that Dr. Caminos is back. Now, you all know Dr. Caminos. That's Dr. Oliver Caminos. He's our board-certified cardiologist. He comes to my office 2 times a month. He's only been doing this for the last 6 or 7 years. We really appreciate having him come here because of the workups that we are able to accomplish here at the office. And so I would say any of you out there, and we don't want you to, if you already have, not a regular doctor, but I mean, if you already have a cardiologist, you need to keep them. You need to not worry about thinking that becoming involved, that being evaluated here would in any way trample on your relationship with your current doctor. We want you to keep them, but you have to understand that the way that I believe that we conduct our evaluations. And then what we'll end up doing with the information, I believe, is an edge that every one of you with cardiovascular issues can benefit from. Meaning, here at this facility, after the cardiovascular evaluation is complete, we're going to use that information in a completely different way. I like Dr. Caminos here. He is not, and I think those patients of mine who may be listening to me now can attest to the fact Dr. Caminos is a board-certified cardiologist. He is conventional as the day is long, and that's what we need here. I don't need, and I'm not really looking for an alternatively minded cardiologist. I want patients to hear from the cardiologist his opinion and what he recommends, so that they're always getting the information and never protected or shielded from information from the conventional medical community. All I've ever told Dr. Caminos is, look, after you do your evaluation, and if you assess this patient and you think that they have to be, let's just say, put on a drug, because that's what conventionally trained cardiologists do, put somebody on a drug, I want you to tell them. I want you to let them know. But I also want you to appreciate the fact that these patients are coming here probably not to be placed on a drug, and they'll more than likely say, thank you very much. We're going to talk about this with Dr. Courtney and come up with all of my options, not just that drug, for the problem that you've identified. And that is something I think that we really benefit from here, because Dr. Caminos does a great job in the workups. He does recommend what he thinks should be done, but he does not get upset. Can you imagine a cardiologist not getting upset? I have a patient say, thank you very much, but I'm going to sit down with Dr. Courtney and come up with a plan. Anyway, he's going to be here this Wednesday after. Been gone now about 3 or 4 weeks back in Argentina. He's Argentinian, you know. Hey, here knocks the door. Come on this door. Hello and welcome aboard. Come right on in. Hello.
Hi, Dr. Courtney.
Hi.
I was going to follow up on your Dr. Caminos comments there.
Go right ahead.
If you're in your 50s and you want to be preventive about your heart and cleaning out your arteries and all that kind of stuff, I hear you talking about the two things. I hear you talking about ECP, and I hear you talking about chelation.
Well, you heard right, too, yes.
And I'm wondering, just briefly, you're in your 50s, you want to be proactive and clean out your arteries a little bit or something. What are the differences? Does ECP clean out the arteries, or
no?
does it give you?
I'll put it in a very concise way, because I got to do it every time I meet a patient. There are 4 things we do here that are different, that are done no place else. And they follow 4 words. If you remember these 4 words, you'll know our treatment plan here, and then that will meet the 2 things that you've already brought up. You'll say what I mean. First word, inflammation. We will correct all of your inflammatory processes that have damaged your arteries. Problem is that the conventional medical community, although there are 8 things that float around in your blood that can cause damage, they only measure and check 1 of the 8. We're going to check all 8, and we're going to correct all 8. So I believe that's a bonus that you receive here that you get no other place. It's just impossible. Number 2, the second word is plaque. Now, there are levels of plaque deposition, and I've seen 50-year-olds that have very little. I've seen 50-year-olds that have had a lot. But we're going to know, based on the cardiovascular workup, how much plaque you have in your arteries. And then we'll take an approach of using chelation therapy to help remove that plaque. So there's where the chelation comes in. Got me there?
Yeah.
Next word, inflammation, that plaque. Third word, flow. To maintain flow, to establish flow, to increase flow to any organ is beneficial to the person who's receiving that increased flow, because the ability to get blood to each individual cell, on the heart, or the brain, or you name the place, the better you're able to do that, the better the exchange of gases and nutrients that take place at the level of the cell. That's where ECP comes in. Because with ECP, This process that is, although it's a conventional modality, is so difficult to find. You can't find it anywhere. Nobody does it. It's insurance covered. It's FDA approved. It's all that, but you can't find it. Well, we're proud to be able to announce we do ECP here, and we will develop a brand spanking new set of blood vessels around every single organ that you own, and the benefit to you is incalculable. If you get my drift. So now you had mentioned ECP, and you see how developing flows is what that's all about. You mentioned chelation, and the removal of plaque is what that's all about. And I introduced a new concept of inflammation, which I believe, and let's just say for my conventional colleagues, there's 8 things that float around in your blood that damage your arteries, and they know about all 8. They are extremely intelligent. I didn't invent these 8 things. Medical science did. Yet, why is it that my colleagues don't order the laboratory assessment to know what all 8 are? And the reason is that as it stands right now, today, they do not have any medicines to correct the other 7. They only have medicines to correct 1. And that's a cholesterol problem. That's where that statin stuff comes in. So, inflammation, I hope I've explained that clearly. Plaque and plaque deposition, that's where chelation comes in. Diminished flows, which as time marches on, every single one of us will face. We need to establish brand new blood flows. That's what ECP does. And then finally, the last thing that we'll deal with that the conventional medical community won't, we will bust up clots. We've got to have mild clot busters. Conventional medicine only has major clot busters. When you need them, boy, I'm glad they're there. They're given intravenously and they're given during an event, but they don't have any mild clot busters. So we'll put people in either nattokinase or Belucate lumbrokinase and help bust them up. Now, you really, thank you for your call. I'm glad I mentioned Dr. Caminos, but we'll take all that information. We'll know where you stand cardiovascularly, and then we'll do something about it above and beyond what the conventional medical community will. I believe the benefit to any patient undergoing this, male or female, is what's incalculable. It's the benefit that it's going to put you in a better set of circumstances after we've met 6 months later than anything else ever would have.
That was so clear, Dr. Courtney, those 4 areas.
Those are the 4 areas we got to cover. That's the plan. And with Dr. Caminos coming here, and because let's be honest, I am an anesthesiologist, and as such, what I can never ever be to any one of my patients, although I've been asked many times, can you please be my PCP, my primary care physician? And I'm not allowed to be. And the reason I'm not allowed to be is that I'm anesthesia trained. I'm not family practice trained, internal medicine trained. I'm not cardiology trained. I'm not in an area of medicine in my training that allows me to be someone's PCP, and consequently I can't bill for a consultation because of that. That's where Dr. Caminos really has helped, because it allows the patient's insurances to work in their benefit. So if you have insurances, all of his evaluation, all the workup, all the labs, all the studies, that's all insurance covered. And then we'll use those labs and that information to treat you in the way that you want to be treated, because we'll have the objective information to justify why we're doing it, and we'll have the objective information to show that we've accomplished goals and objectives as we're doing it that should make you feel pretty good. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hey, thanks, Dr. Courtney.
Thank you for that question. It was like a softball. I could hit it over the fence.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you very much. Great question. I hope the answer was a good one, and it really does allow me to meld together what we do here and have cardiovascular objectives to accomplish. Hey, there was another knock at the door. Come on, the store. Hello, and welcome in. Hello?
Dr. Courtney?
Yes, go right ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
I was just going to give you my worst symptom of pain at the time, and
okay.
I have very severe, kind of severe hand pain, mainly in both thumbs.
Okay.
And I know you already talked about inflammation and such. Can the chip that you had mentioned, could that help hand pain like that?
Well, let's just say that this pain obviously is the same. Have you ever been diagnosed by anybody as to why you had the pain, like maybe carpal tunnel or anything like that?
Well, my brother was off for trigger finger, but
Okay.
I don't have that.
All right. Tell you what.
I think I've been chiropractically, I've been looked at for it, and
Have you been helped by?
nobody's been able to help me.
Okay, so that's the better answer to the question. No, it doesn't appear to be joint related because my chiropractic friends are able to have a pretty good response whenever the issue is joint. Tell you what you need to do. I'm a chronic pain specialist, been one for a long time. You need to come in to see me, first of all, because I might be able to diagnose, and I'd like my shot at you, okay, as to what the diagnosis is, but I make a promise, and I say to anybody listening, you got a problem in pain, I'm going to use those chips to see if in the interim, between visits with me, if I either A, know what you have and want to help treat it, or B, if I don't know what you have either, but realize there's nothing organic going on that we have to worry about, and just hearing that somebody has thumb pain, I know it's a big thing for you, but I'm not worrying about it, causing you to expire. I mean, it's just not a life or death.
Right.
But
Exactly.
but still, that's an aggravating symptom, and you deserve to have relief from it. So we're going to find out if the chip gives you relief. I'm batting pretty good. How's 100% so far? If you turn out not to be benefited by it, okay, I'll have to live with it, and unfortunately you will too. I'm told that these chips can't and shouldn't be considered to work 100% of the time, but I'm batting 100 right now, and I'm willing to give it a try if you are. So come on in, make an appointment to come on in to see us. You know our phone number?
Where's your location?
I'm out in McMurray, Pennsylvania, on Route 19, just south. If you were a woman, I'd really help you. South Hills Village, south of South Hills Village. And so our phone number here is 724-942-3002. Come on in to see us.
I will call, doctor.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
For your time today.
Sure.
Okay.
Same promise goes to any of you out there in any of those three categories. Another knock at the door, I think. Come on in the store. Hello and welcome aboard. Oh, you gave up on me. Oh, my goodness gracious. Anybody else? Hello? Anybody? 412-825-6262. You've got a few minutes left here. Plenty of time to get on in here and get your questions answered at 412-825-6262. So, should mention our good friend Dr. Caminos coming in here on Wednesday. It was supposed to be our last Wednesday, and of course, we got our second onslaught of snow, and so he was wise. On Monday, he knew to cancel patients, and he's coming back. So he's got a number of patients to see here, but that's pretty good for those of you who the gentleman who called said, well, if you're 50, at age 50, there's only a small percentage of the male population who have any cardiovascular issues that have been diagnosed. Usually at 50, people are walking around pretty much a blank slate thinking everything's fine. But I will tell you that a cardiovascular evaluation of the type that you'll have here, if there are any cardiovascular issues, you will learn about them. And you'll need to know, and you'll have been tipped off very early in the process to make your intervention that much more applicable and able to help you reverse this problem. We reverse these issues. We don't nail a stent in. Dr. Caminos, by the way, is not an invasive cardiologist. He doesn't do catheterizations. He doesn't do stents. I mean, he would know if you needed to have one done, and there have been those rare cases when it actually needed to be done. But that's really, really rare. But in the conventional world, that's really, really common, and the common way things get treated. Anyway, more on that subject as time moves on. We'll bring Dr. Caminos back to explain even more to you about what he does. Heard another knock at the door? Come on in the store. Hello, and welcome aboard.
Yes, good morning, Courtney.
Yes, go right ahead.
What's chelation?
What's chelation? Chelation is the use of a substance called EDTA. You don't even want to get into what those letters stand for, okay? But you can find it written on your, if you get a loaf of bread and read the label, you'll see preserved with EDTA. And I think they even spell out what the E to D to T means. But it's a chemical, and it's used, and had been used only intravenously for like 50 years to help diminish the amount of plaque inside of arteries. Now, for 50 years plus, it had to be done IV. And we really did, we were at the tail end of it, but I mean, we did it IV, and we still can do it, and do it intravenously. But now there's an oral form of EDTA that's fat soluble and is fully absorbable so that it can be done orally also.
That's what I would ask you about.
Yeah, we got two different ways of handling this issue of plaque. I usually would say to a patient, look, if it turns out that after we get your cardiovascular evaluation, you have minimal plaque, then you don't need to do anything IV. You can do this orally, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. But if it turns out, and these patients usually, come in more ill from their cardiovascular milieu than others. They're on a bunch of medicines. We already know we're dealing with a patient that has advanced cardiovascular disease. It's not surprising at times to say, you know what, you'll need to do some IV, you'll need to do some oral, because your condition is more advanced than anybody else. The bulk of the cases, I'll tell you, we don't need to do IV. We do them orally. Okay?
How do you supplement vitamins and minerals with the oral chelation?
They don't, because they're absorbed, they don't flush out. The IV forms actually do flush out minerals. We got to put them in the bag. The oral forms don't, and we don't have to compensate other than the normal minerals that you take every day. Okay?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hear, don't hear the bongos. Heard those. Oh, there's the bongos. Hey, folks, thank you so much for being on board today. I'll see you on Wednesday. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney saying so long for AM Impact on Your Health.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located in